Imagine stepping into a bright, quiet room where the air itself seems to shimmer with the soft scent of fresh flowers. The light is gentle, almost weightless, settling over everything like morning sun slipping through thin curtains. The temperature is just right, about 72 degrees Fahrenheit, warm enough to feel comforting, cool enough to keep your senses awake. In the center of the room stands a simple white table. Upon it sit 4 bouquets, each one a small universe made of color, fragrance, emotion, and energy. They don't compete with each other. Instead, they seem to breathe, each at its own rhythm, each speaking a different emotional language. One bouquet pulses with vibrant color, bright and alive, as if every petal carries its own tiny spark of fire. Another feels tender and gentle, woven from the first soft light of morning and the quiet promise of peace. A third bouquet stands deep and earthy, its tones rich with mystery, intuition, and inner strength. And the fourth holds perfect balance, calm, harmonious, steady, like the reflection of a soul that has already found its rhythm. Flowers speak in a language older than words. Jung believed that the symbols we choose reveal the secret movements of our unconscious, what we long for, what we lack, what is rising inside us even if we have not named it yet. And today, the bouquet you choose isn't just a decoration. It's a message, a subtle whisper from the deepest part of your inner life. So don't overthink, don't analyze, don't try to be logical. Just breathe and look. Which bouquet pulls your attention first? Which one makes your chest rise just a little higher? Or makes something inside you say, yes, this one? Your choice is the doorway, and beyond it lies the truth of where your energy is right now, what you're attracting, what you're healing, what you're longing for, and what in you is already awakening. Are you ready to hear what your soul is trying to say? Choose your bouquet, and let's begin. If your eyes were drawn to the bright, pulsing bouquet, the one that almost seems to glow from within, radiating warmth like a living ember, then your soul is speaking loudly. This bouquet isn't chosen by accident. It demands attention the moment you see it. It is a burst of light, a spark, a heartbeat made visible. And the fact that you felt its pull says something powerful about you. Inside you lives a source of energy that refuses to stay small. You are not someone built for shadows, for blending into the background, for quietly waiting as life passes by. You are movement. You are momentum. You are the flame that warms, illuminates, inspires, sometimes even startles, simply by being what it naturally is. There is a rhythm in you that resembles the pulse of a busy city at midnight, or the rush of inspiration that hits without warning. Even when you're calm on the outside, something inside you vibrates with intensity. A hunger for meaning, for creation, for real experience. You may be patient, you may stay quiet when necessary, but beneath the surface there is always a bright, insistent, I want more. More life, more truth, more color, more feeling. People like you do not live halfway. You don't love halfway. You don't dream halfway. And you certainly don't feel halfway. When you like someone, it shows. When you hurt, it's deep. When you're joyful, the light radiates so far that others feel it even if they don't understand why. This bouquet speaks of a soul with a big emotional range, a soul that burns clean and honest. Your energy is not meant to be silent. It is meant to influence, and it does. Even without trying, you inspire people. Just your presence can lift someone's mood, ignite their motivation, or help them see life with more color. There is a natural magnetism in you that cannot be faked, a warmth that others sense immediately. But this brightness is not superficial. It isn't about being loud or dramatic. It's about being real. Your inner fire is authentic, born from truth, not performance. And because of that, you often struggle to dim yourself. You can pretend to be smaller, quieter, simpler, but it never lasts. Your soul always pushes upward again, like a flame rising even when someone tries to cup their hands around it. This bouquet also reveals something else: your emotional courage. You are not afraid to feel. You don't run from passion, or tenderness, or attachment. You know how to live through emotions fully, even when they burn, even when they overwhelm. And yes, bright souls often get hurt more sharply. But still, you don't turn away from the intensity of life. You were made to feel deeply. Your energy comes in waves. You are not linear. You are cyclical, like fire that flares, then softens, then surges again with renewed warmth. Inspiration, insight, bursts of creation. These are your natural states. Quiet moments of rest are necessary, but they never extinguish what burns inside you. In relationships, you are unforgettable. People either need you intensely or cannot handle your depth. There is rarely an in-between. You seek real connection, real reciprocity, real emotional presence. You will never settle for something half alive. Your love, when it finds the right person, becomes exactly like this bouquet: warm, strong, passionate, luminous. A love that lights up the room, a love that stays. Choosing the fiery bouquet means your soul is choosing life. It is choosing truth over safety, intensity over numbness, fullness over emptiness. You were not made to hide. You were made to shine. If your attention settled gently on the second bouquet, the soft, light pastel arrangement that feels like morning air woven into petals, then your soul carries a rare kind of energy. This bouquet may not be the loudest or the brightest, but it doesn't need to be. Its beauty lies in its tenderness, its honesty, and its quiet, emotional depth. Choosing this bouquet means you are someone who feels in subtleties, someone whose heart hears the world in tones others often overlook. You sense small shifts in people's voices, the weight behind a pause, the hidden emotion inside a simple word. You read what is unspoken. You understand before others explain. Your intuition works softly, but it works with incredible precision. This sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a strength, one that makes you a place of comfort for others, even when you don't try to be. You have a calming presence, the kind that makes people breathe easier without knowing why, the kind that makes chaotic minds quiet down, the kind that makes heavy hearts feel less alone. Your energy isn't forceful, it's warming. You influence without pushing, heal without announcing it, and soothe without making noise. People feel safe near you because your soul radiates sincerity. You don't need big gestures to show care. Your smallest actions hold meaning. You love with gentleness, not weakness. Your loyalty is quiet but unshakable. Your compassion is soft but strong. And yes, your sensitivity comes with its own challenges. You feel more than others. You carry more. You notice details most people ignore. Harshness affects you deeply. Cold words, emotional distance, lack of empathy. You feel these things almost physically. Sometimes this makes you withdraw, not because you don't care, but because your heart needs a place where it can breathe without being hurt. This bouquet also reveals something important. You are someone who values authenticity over noise. You choose sincerity over show, connection over performance, softness over superficiality. You are not impressed by volume or brightness. You are drawn to what feels real. You move through life with quiet wisdom. Even when you don't speak it aloud, you understand more than people assume. Even when you feel fragile, you hold a kind of inner resilience that surprises even you. Your strength is not the kind that shouts. It is the kind that endures. You are someone who takes your time, not because you're unsure, but because you refuse to choose what doesn't feel right. You value emotional truth. You choose with care. You give your heart only when your intuition whispers yes. Choosing this bouquet is also a sign that you may be needing rest, comfort, or emotional replenishment right now. Maybe you've been giving too much. Maybe you've been carrying unspoken weight. Maybe your heart just wants gentleness in your environment, in your relationships, in your own thoughts. Remember this: you don't always have to be the safe place for others. You deserve a safe place too. A place where you can be vulnerable without judgment, where you don't have to be strong, where your softness is not taken for granted. People with your energy often forget their own light because they are too busy noticing everyone else's needs. But others see you differently. They see someone kind, sincere, trustworthy, someone who brings harmony simply by being present. This bouquet is the symbol of quiet beauty, a beauty that doesn't demand attention, a beauty that simply exists, pure, effortless, irreplaceable. And that beauty is you. If the third bouquet, earthy, organic, a little wild, a little untamed, was the one that reached out and caught your attention, then your soul carries a freedom that cannot be shaped by rules or expectations. This bouquet feels like it wasn't arranged by human hands, but by nature itself. A gentle chaos, yet perfectly harmonious. A mix of textures and tones that shouldn't match, but somehow do, effortlessly. Choosing this bouquet says something essential about you. You are not meant for narrow paths, rigid boxes, or someone else's script. You are made for authenticity. You breathe truth. You live by instinct. While others follow maps, you follow meaning. While others listen to noise, you listen to what the heart whispers when the world finally quiets down. You are someone whose inner compass rarely fails, even when you're unsure of the destination. There is something of the forest in you, something that bends without breaking, that shifts with the wind but never loses its roots. You understand life intuitively, not intellectually. You feel the world before you think about it. You're not impressed by artificial shine, status, or perfection, but show you a sunset, the smell of warm grass, a piece of music that feels like memory, or a conversation that touches something true, and you light up instantly. You love what's real, what's textured, what's alive. Your energy is creative, even if you don't label yourself as a creative person. Creativity for you isn't about art. It's about perspective. It's in the small details you notice, in the way you dress, the spaces you create, the people you choose, the words you speak. Your spirit adds color to everything it touches without even trying. People like you are rare. You refuse to shrink to fit expectations. You refuse to pretend. You refuse to wear emotional costumes. You show up as yourself, raw, warm, genuine, and that makes others feel safe to do the same. But your freedom carries a vulnerability too. Sometimes you feel misunderstood, as if the world expects you to be more rigid, more predictable, more tamed than you truly are. You may worry that your sensitivity makes you too much, or that your openness makes you fragile. But it's the opposite. Your honesty is your strength. Your emotional openness is your courage. Your fluidity is your resilience. You know how to change without losing yourself. You know how to feel deeply without drowning. You know how to wander without being lost. The wild bouquet also symbolizes the soul of a seeker. You are someone who is always evolving, reading, learning, observing, exploring your inner landscape. You search for meaning the way others search for comfort. You want a life that breathes, not a life that merely looks good from the outside. In relationships, you offer something beautifully rare: your presence, your warmth, your sincerity. You are not halfway with people. If you care, you really care. If you choose someone, it's with your whole heart, not a fraction. You crave connection that feels alive, conversations that stretch the spirit, moments that feel like they belong only to you and the universe. You don't chase shallow bonds. Your soul rejects them immediately. Instead, you wait for the real, the meaningful, the emotionally nourishing. Choosing this bouquet means your soul is calling you back to your nature, to simplicity, to truth, to the quiet magic of being fully yourself. You are not glossy perfection. You are warmth. You are life. You are the scent of earth after rain. You are the honesty of open skies. You are the courage of a heart that refuses to close, even when it's been hurt. If this bouquet chose you, and yes, sometimes the bouquet chooses you, it's because your soul recognizes itself in its wildness, its softness, its freedom. You don't need to be perfect to be beautiful. You only need to be real, and you already are. If your soul gravitated toward the dark, rich, dramatic bouquet, the one with deep wine tones and shadows that seem to hold entire worlds, then you are someone who carries a rare inner power. This bouquet doesn't whisper, it resonates. It vibrates with a quiet, undeniable gravity. And the fact that it called to you says you possess a depth that few people truly understand. There is something magnetic about you. Not loud, not flashy, but impossible to overlook. When you enter a room, people sense something shift, even if they can't explain it. You have presence, weight, intensity. Your energy is like a slow-burning flame, steady, powerful, controlled, but capable of incredible heat. Just like this bouquet, you are someone who feels deeply even when you don't show it. You sense truths hidden beneath the surface. You read between lines, behind smiles, under silence. You notice what most ignore. Your emotional world is rich, layered, complex. An ocean that doesn't reveal its depth to just anyone. And because of that, you protect yourself. You don't give your vulnerability freely. You let people close only when they've earned the right to see what lies beneath your calm exterior. You are not afraid of honesty. You are not afraid of shadows. You are not afraid of intensity, in feelings, in conversations, in relationships. Where others avoid their inner darkness, you walk straight into it. Not because you enjoy pain, but because you understand something profound. Growth happens in depth, not in brightness. You transform through silence, through reflection, through experience, not through shallow distractions. You have likely lived through moments that bent you, changed you, reshaped you in ways no one fully knows. And those experiences didn't harden your heart. They refined it. They sharpened your intuition, strengthened your boundaries, and deepened your wisdom. People often mistake your calm for coldness, your quiet for distance, your strength for detachment. But the truth is simple. Your heart is too precious to hand to just anyone. When you love, it is not casual, it is not temporary, it is not halfway. Your love leaves fingerprints on the soul. Your presence lingers long after you walk away. Your emotional impact is unforgettable, even when you never intended it to be. And yet, you also have the ability to leave without noise, without drama, without burning the house down. You simply close the door when a place no longer carries truth for you. And that departure often reveals how much your energy held everything together. Choosing this bouquet means you have an inner maturity that comes only from facing yourself honestly. Your fears, your shadows, your desires, your past. You've walked through darkness, not as a victim, but as someone gathering wisdom. You've survived things quietly, privately, carrying your own weight when no one else even noticed how heavy it was. And despite everything, you remain capable of powerful love, profound empathy, and deep emotional loyalty. That is strength, that is resilience, that is soul. Your intuition is one of your greatest gifts. You can sense when someone is lying, when someone is afraid, when someone is silently asking for help. You hear the unsaid. You feel the unseen. You understand the emotional undercurrents that most people miss completely. This bouquet symbolizes transformation, not the soft kind, but the alchemical kind. You don't just change, you evolve. You shed layers. You rise from endings stronger, clearer, wiser. You are built for depth, not for superficiality, for truth, not for comfort, for meaning, not for noise. If this deep, dark arrangement pulled you in, it's because your soul recognized itself in its richness, its mystery, its emotional gravity. You are not darkness. You are the light that survives inside the darkness. You are the ember that never goes out. You are the quiet storm that shapes destinies, not moods. You are rare, you are powerful, you are unforgettable, and your depth is your beauty. Each of the 4 bouquets you saw was more than a simple arrangement of flowers. They were emotional landscapes, reflections of inner states we rarely articulate, yet always carry within us. Jung taught that symbols bypass logic and speak directly to the unconscious. Flowers, especially, are honest symbols. They don't lie, they don't exaggerate, they don't try to impress. They simply reveal. Your choice wasn't random. Flowers are never chosen with the mind. They're chosen by the heart. They respond to the emotional wavelength you're standing on right now, the frequency your soul is sending out into the world. So what does your bouquet reveal? If you chose the bright, fiery bouquet, you are in a season of movement, desire, and awakening. Your soul is pushing you toward expression, toward visibility, toward living boldly instead of cautiously. There is strength rising in you, the kind that refuses to stay silent. If you chose the soft pastel bouquet, your heart longs for gentleness, grounding, warmth, and emotional safety. You are entering or already in a period of healing, recovery, introspection. Your soul is asking for tenderness, either from yourself or from someone who understands you deeply. If you chose the natural wild bouquet, your spirit is craving authenticity, freedom, and emotional truth. You are reconnecting with your nature, the part of you that doesn't need approval, doesn't need to perform, doesn't need to fit into anyone else's expectations. You are searching for meaning, for your path, for a life that feels alive. If you chose the dark, deep bouquet, you are entering a stage of inner transformation, powerful, intense, mature. Your intuition is heightening. Old patterns are unraveling. You're ready to confront truths that others avoid, and because of that, you will emerge wiser, more grounded, more yourself than ever before. No matter which bouquet called to you, it revealed something profoundly important. Your soul is speaking, and you listened. When you look at your chosen bouquet, you're not just seeing flowers. You're seeing a part of yourself that's rising, a truth you're finally ready to acknowledge, a need you're ready to honor, a path you're ready to walk. You're seeing your energy, your longing, your resilience, your beauty. You don't have to stay the same every day. You are allowed to be bright one morning, quiet the next, wild in moments of inspiration, deep in moments of reflection. You are allowed to shift, grow, change, unfold. We all bloom in seasons, and each season asks for a different expression of who we are. The bouquet you chose today is simply the flower of the moment, the version of you that wants to be seen right now. Honor it. Listen to it. Let it guide you gently toward what feels true. You are alive, you are feeling, you are becoming. And that is the most beautiful thing about you. Now that you've seen what your bouquet reveals, take a quiet breath and let its meaning settle inside you. Not as a prediction, not as a label, but as a reflection, a mirror of the part of you that is waking up right now. Flowers don't pretend. They don't force themselves to bloom. They don't rush their seasons. They unfold exactly when they're meant to. And so do you. Your choice today was a gentle reminder of your own nature, your strength, your sensitivity, your freedom, or your depth. It showed you what is stirring in your inner world, what energy is rising to the surface, what truth is asking to be acknowledged. Maybe you are stepping into a brighter version of yourself. Maybe you are seeking softness after giving too much. Maybe your spirit is craving authenticity, space, and honesty. Or maybe your soul is deepening, maturing, transforming quietly in ways only you can feel. Whatever your bouquet revealed, remember this. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to bloom differently from yesterday. You are not meant to stay one symbol forever. Some days you are fire. Some days you are dawn. Some days you are the wild field. Some days you are the deep night sky. This is not contradiction. This is the fullness of being human. What matters is that you keep listening to the part of you that knows the truth before you speak it. The part of you that chose that bouquet without hesitation. The part of you that whispered, "This one feels like me." Your soul recognized something in those petals, a memory, a longing, a state of growth, a version of yourself you're stepping into. Let that recognition guide you. Let it soften you where you're too guarded, ignite you where you've gone dim, ground you where you feel lost, deepen you where you feel numb, and above all, let yourself bloom in your own rhythm, not in the rhythm others expect, not in the rhythm of comparison, but in the rhythm that feels true, even if it's slow, even if it's wild, even if it's different. Your soul chose this bouquet because it recognizes its own reflection. It sees itself in the petals, the colors, the textures, the tone. It sees the chapter of life you're entering, the chapter only you can write. So carry this message with you gently, like a flower pressed between pages, like a whisper floating behind your heartbeat. Your soul is blooming, and you, exactly as you are right now, are enough.